Good to go?
Yeah. I'll just follow your lead.
Yeah. So this is Nick Zaccarelli. It's episode 1 of the Indomitable Podcast. I'm here with realtor Heidi DeRusso.
Yes. Hello.
Out of the Guilford, Connecticut area.
Yep. With One & Company.
Yep.
William Ravis.
Awesome.
Guilford. Yep.
Yep. Now with that line of work, are you kind of dedicated to one area or?
No, I mean, I am out of the shoreline. I do focus on the shoreline, but I really just go where my clients need me.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of my line. I'll go where you want to go.
Yep.
I have listings in Rocky Hill, Bridgeport, New Canaan.
Yeah, you kind of have to go where the business is.
Yeah, you go where the money goes. And I won't do it for everybody, but I will do it for family, friend, people who refer me business.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I get a lot of people ask me like, oh, what's your area? I'm like, wherever the good jobs are, you know? And we went up to Avon, which for a project, and it was like an hour and 10-minute drive, and then go down to Reading and all over.
Yeah, but you go where the money goes.
But if you think about it, Connecticut's a pretty small state.
Exactly. That's what I tell people too.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're going to be in traffic for 45 minutes, but it's like you're still in Connecticut.
Yeah, that's the problem, the traffic.
Yeah.
It's such a commuter state. Everybody just drives through. Yeah,
but at least the Q Bridge like opened things up. So it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, we still get stuck in a ton of traffic going down to Westport, but...
And I don't know about you, but like I like being in the car. Like that's when I make my phone calls or I get to put on like a podcast and like reset.
So that's how this got started.
Oh, okay.
So I pretty much do all my thinking driving.
Yep.
And I'm probably not a good passenger to be with.
Okay.
If someone's like kind of right, because I won't talk to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I will, but I'm just like in my own head. You know what I mean? So I come up with some of my best
ideas on the road.
Maybe they're
you can
best.
say it.
I don't know.
No judgment.
Figure them out. Jump in and just figure it out. But that's kind of when I do all my thinking. So it's not fuel efficient, not great for mileage on the vehicle, but yeah.
Not when you drive what you drive.
No. But well, you're kind of doing the same thing, no?
Yeah, I'm all over the road all the time, but I had a Honda Pilot before, and now I have like a Kia Sportage because it's so good on gas. It's small. I can maneuver it everywhere, and it's not like a storage closet on wheels.
Yeah, I sat down with a fellow landscape, I guess you can call it designer, whatever. He does contracting, but he works on these estates out in Rhode Island. He does the Ocean House and all that stuff.
Ooh.
And he was like, "Oh, buy yourself a little truck or a car, and just that'll be your car to run around in."
Okay.
I'm like, that's so unrealistic because what I do, I end up, I leave a customer's house, and then my guy's like, "Oh, we forgot this," so now I got to go run and pick up stone or a trailer or a machine, and I was like, I'm not switching vehicles 10 times a day.
If you're doing a job, then you have to run and do a quote. You're not going to run to the office, switch out your vehicle, because then you're going to lose so much time.
So it's not easy. And then needless to say, my last truck I just traded in had 118,000 miles on it, and I bought it with 34 3 years ago.
That's not bad at all.
To me, it was. I was freaking out because I have to keep everything like nice and all right. This is planned out. That's planned out. It just doesn't. Yeah.
God.
And I started freaking out. Like if it breaks down, I'm going down to Westport or something.
But what truck was it? What kind of a truck was it?
It was a pickup. Yeah.
Okay.
But a heavy duty pickup. But
I figure
fuel miles was terrible.
I feel like the contractors just run their vehicles into the ground.
Yeah,
they
do
keep
generally.
driving it till like it dies.
I just hate pouring money into something that's not getting any. It's not gaining any value.
Right. You'd rather be like
and
proactive.
A vehicle's not really much of an investment anyway.
No.
It's just a liability. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I mean, it's I always kind of wondered about that because I'll notice that realtors that I see online, which by the way, I'm seeing a much bigger presence online with social media with realtors.
Well, yeah. Everyone figured it out.
Yeah. It's
free
like
marketing
everywhere. Yeah. And it's great. I just, I was like, is this new or more people
like
getting into it?
Oversaturating the market now.
Yeah, well, are more people getting into it or is it just...
Maybe.
I actually had a family member just tell me they're getting into it. So
I think now is a good time for people to get into the market because it's a good market. We're like in an upswing market.
Right.
So there's a lot of inventory. There's a lot of action. However, obviously real estate is super difficult to get into because it's all sales. So you can get into it, but be prepared to not make a paycheck for 6 months.
Yeah,
and
I can see that.
That's the biggest part like I knew that getting into it. I'm like, all right, for a year, I won't make any money. I'm just going to work for free and like learn.
Yeah.
But some people leave their day jobs to get into real estate thinking they're going to make all this money and they can't pay their bills in 6 months. And they freak out. It's
hilarious because that's the first thing I think I've heard every person say that wants to get into realty. They're like, oh, I could do it part-time. And this person in my family just said the same thing. And I'm like, listen, it's a business like anything else. If you want to be successful at it, you got to concentrate on it.
Right.
Can't be like, okay, I'll do it tonight when I get home.
Well, you're a business owner, so it's the same thing. Whatever you put into it, you will get out.
Yeah.
So if you want to be laxy-daisy half-time, that's fine. You're just going to make half the money.
Right.
But if you want to like make a fair amount of money, you have to put in the work.
Yeah, you got to be dedicated.
Yeah, you have to put in a lot
of
hours.
And it's funny because so when I initially asked you to do this, like I said, I was going to do, I'll get a couple of my friends in, kind of get my feet wet with this. And, but you were the only one that kept like reaching back out. And
I know that's a good thing.
No, I love that. It's awesome because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And,
well, it's like now or never too. Like you ask me now, I have it in my schedule. So let's do it now.
That's why I did this. I mean, I literally thought of doing this podcast and starting all this a week ago.
Yeah.
And like, we're already,
and here we are.
It's just got to get it done.
Yep.
But, where was I going with that? Oh, but I asked you
the realtors
for like what are your licenses? Because I was going to do your typical boring interview that no one would want to watch.
Nobody could care. Nobody cares about my numbers, my stats.
So I was like, I don't know, just give me some info. And then you sent me this bio and it was like, oh, this is the show. And that's what it's about. So
I'm laughing because I talk a lot.
Well, but we all do because we like what we do too.
Yes.
You know? And also in your job, if you're not a talker, like, you're not going to be that.
You're not going to make a lot of money or friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to talk. And you have to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Same with you. Like, I'm not going to call you on a job and then you just stare at me and be like, I'm going to put grass over there.
Yeah. I also don't, but that's something. So I'm always kind of like analyzing where I'm at and what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Some of the better landscape designers and guys that are like, they're more salesmen.
Right.
But like they'll get like very flamboyant about the whole thing and like really acting it. I'm not that guy. I'll just tell you how it is. I'll be realistic with you. Mm-hmm. And I'm not looking to upsell you.
Right.
I'm looking to give you what you want and that way you get your value out of what we're doing.
Right.
It's appropriate for your house and
you're not over promising anything because that's going to stress you out as well.
Right. And I could be very creative and we can do really over the top things. Right. But it's not, in your market. You can overspend for your neighborhood and your market, and you got to remember you're investing money into something. So,
right. Like with clients who will have me come over and ask me to like stage the house, I'm like, we can do all of this, but you won't necessarily get it back when you sell it.
Right.
But I feel like some of your clients, they don't care if they get it back. They just want a beautiful garden.
I had a guy tell me right off the bat. I mean, he cedar shingles on the roof, and it's in a nice neighborhood, but. That neighborhood, he's not gonna. I mean, he spent like $100,000 on the roof, and it's the driveway was another thing, and he's like, no, I know I'm not getting my money back from this. It's all right. I just love it.
But it makes him happy.
I want. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, which I totally get, because he'll get longevity out of the house if he likes it, and wants to stay there.
Can I ask you how you got into landscaping?
So. Mostly because I was doing so poorly in school.
Okay.
No, so I was always in bands and playing the drums and music, but that was not really a guaranteed successful kind of career.
Right.
It's
like a pro athlete.
Very hard. Yeah. And my my part-time job in the summer, full time, was working with a landscaper because I hated Stop and Shop and quit. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I can make like $5 more an hour just working for this guy
and being outside.
And I loved it. And I hate being in an office. I hate being indoors. So that's kind of how I got my foot in the door. And then my father was like, well, why don't you become a landscape architect? And I was like, I don't know. It's not really it's more commercial. Mm-hmm. And they do residential stuff, but that's a whole nother story. It is different.
I didn't know you were a landscape architect
no,
as
I'm
well.
Not,
I mean, I've seen the pictures. I could tell you have the gift of it.
So I went to school for horticulture and landscape design. Mm-hmm. And one of the first things one of the professors said, Robert Herman, who was awesome. So shout out to Robert Herman.
If he's watching.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
Job well done.
Yeah. He said, you're going to leave here with more plant knowledge than most landscape architects. He goes, they don't really have to have a background in a wide variety of plant material and all this. And
right.
so it's just a whole nother story. So there's a difference, Theirs is more architecture and engineering and stuff like that.
But. Right. But they still have to know, because that's the thing with gardening. I'm not a gardener at all.
Right.
But you need to know what plant will thrive here.
See, now that's the problem. Yeah. So, like, funny story, on the campus of the college, they should have asked one of the professors to design. I mean, you got them for free at the school. Like, they can design the new building going up, right?
Yes.
They hired some outside landscape architect, and they planted the wrong trees in the wrong location. Everything died.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah, it was a nightmare.
Yeah. So I was married to an architect, first husband, and I learned that there has to be a lot of thought behind everything where it's really placed. Yeah, even like the functionality of a garden. Like there just needs to be so much thought put into it.
Yep.
And not everybody gets it. It's a special skill. There's not a lot who can do it.
Yeah, and certain markets value it, right? It's like your high-end, well, I can't even really say that, because like the high-end residential, it depends on the neighborhood you're in, the area that you're in, but some people value that and they understand it, and other people don't. They want to, they're just price shopping.
Yeah.
And some guy's going to come in and tell you, hey, I'll just plant this here and that, and it's, you just threw away thousands because it's all going to.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's crazy.
I walk onto a lot of jobs like that, and then they're like, well, we're spending money right the second time around. Yeah, you should have did the first time, but it's...
If you do it right the first time, you don't have to go back and fix it.
I can only imagine what you guys see with...
My favorite listings are the ones that are expired. Like another agent couldn't sell it. Yeah. And I get to come in and like clean up the mess and then sell it. Mm-hmm. It's easy to come in from the outside and clean it up.
Yeah.
Going in firsthand, like you're the first one in there. So like you have to make the first call on everything. That's a little bit more stressful.
Yeah, that's tough because you're also dealing with them for the first time. They're going to,
they have the first time jitters. By the second time, they're like ready to go.
It's a different dynamic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both are fun though.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So that's kind of how I got into it, and I just fell in love with it. And but I could actually see it being a viable career.
Right.
Now I know you got started kind of a different, sort of the same though.
Sort of the same.
Yeah, I hated college up until that point because.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know if I hated it. It wasn't for me. I went because I had to. Right. Like after you graduate, everyone's like, "That's what you do next."
Right.
I'm like, but I don't know what I want to do. And like, I felt like everybody knew what they wanted to do, my brothers included, and I couldn't pick a major. So I went to community college, kept going to classes, but I don't even think I passed a single class. I was there for 1.5 years at Gateway. I don't know how they kept me there.
I think we have like the exact same story. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Well, but like everyone kept telling me to keep going and keep going. I'm like, all right, fine. Let's like waste more money and time, everybody. That's great. And finally I stopped. And I always, my first job in high school was a teller at Guilford Savings Bank.
Right.
So I was always in banking and customer service and sales. And I really enjoyed that. I loved like handling money and just all things like finance interest me. So, I moved out to California when I was 20, just like on a whim for fun. And got a part-time job at Wells Fargo Bank.
Awesome.
And before you knew it, they realized I had a brain and they made me a manager, and I was doing that and enjoying that, having fun with that. But then I kept thinking I should probably go back to school. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, 28 and making maybe 35 grand at best.
Yeah.
So I came back to Connecticut and went back to school. I did a lot better then, got straight A's, but still couldn't justify getting a degree. And then I got pregnant.
Yeah.
Started a family.
Yes,
did that whole thing for a bit, but still just wanted to go back to work.
Yeah.
And I always thought about real estate. I think I told you this. When the market crashed is when I first started thinking about getting into real estate.
Yeah.
But I was back in California.
Yep.
Banks were just shutting down. People with a lot of money.
Scary time.
Oh my God. It was, And here I am as the manager, like just hoping that I show up at work the next day and the doors aren't freaking locked.
Yeah.
So I just stuck with that job.
That's a challenge.
Yeah.
That is kind of a good time to get in with something like that because it will turn around. Everything goes through these cycles.
Which we know now at our age, but like back then when at 25.
If no one's telling you.
Well, and they even do. They tell you because they've been there, right?
Yeah.
Like I remember when the banks were just collapsing and I called my stepdad back in Connecticut, and at Wells Fargo I had great benefits. They matched my 401k. I was putting a bunch of money into my 401k, and my stepdad was like, stop contributing to the 401k. He goes, because I've never seen anything this bad before. And so he had me, I went from like 9% to like nothing.
Yeah.
And it scared me. He's like, it might go back, but he's like, it might not.
Yeah.
Because things were just that bad.
Yeah. Eventually they will. But the nice thing is you're young enough. You're not touching it anyway.
No.
So after,
I still have that 401k too.
Do you?
Yeah.
I hope it's doing better.
It's doing better. I mean, it's there. I can't do anything with it now.
Yeah, no.
But
you don't want to touch that.
No.
But yeah, it's so like what I wanted to ask you when I read your bio and getting back to that, that I feel like that's the way the show should go.
Yeah.
It's just, it's more about life experience and like the shit that we all go through that I think a lot of people.
I like that we can swear on this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not hiding that.
No filter.
What was I saying? Yeah, just
my bio.
just being real about it, because I think a lot of people are going through the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was going to college and I was playing New York City 3 nights a week, getting back at 3 a.m.
Yep.
I don't
but
want
going
to
to
go to
school
class the next
because
day.
everyone said you had to.
Well, so I was the first person in my family to go to college, both sides ever.
Were you at Gateway?
No, Central.
Oh.
And I'd be at home like, I don't know what I want to do. My father's like, just pick something. It doesn't matter. I'm like, that is the worst.
That is.
Looking back, like, that's the worst ever. But
it's the worst thing you can tell somebody.
It's nothing against him because it's all we know.
Yeah.
It's
he just wanted you to get the degree.
Yeah, he wants me to do better.
Because the world was telling you you're only going to be successful if you get this degree.
He doesn't want me doing what he was doing, working at the same place for 43 years. And
what did he do?
Manual labor. He works for Southern Connecticut Gas.
Okay.
In the street department. And I give him a lot of props. He's been on a lot of crazy calls. He's got some wild stories.
Mm-hmm.
People driving right through the cones over an open hole in the ditch in the street.
Oh
Guys
my God.
inside.
Yeah.
House explosions.
Oh God.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Like that one in North Haven.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, it takes a lot of balls to do that job. They weld live gas, and he's on the another one was Old Saybrook. A guy, drunk driver, hit a building. Old Saybrook or Clinton, I don't remember. Hit a building, hit the gas meter. Everything was on fire. The fire department couldn't even get to it. They had to shut the gas off. To shut the gas off, he had to move the car with the backhoe on fire. Everything. Yeah, it was wild. So he's got some cool stories, and I give him a lot of props for staying somewhere that long and just working hard.
I know.
He worked so hard to provide for the family, and
that's that generation though. They were so loyal. And
well, that's what you
with
did.
The same company.
You finished or didn't finish school, and then you went and got a job and stayed there forever. And now it's we got friends at Christ, it seems like every time I talk to them, they're at a different place. I'm like, what? Will you just stay somewhere for a little while?
But at the same time, you can't blame him because my brother-in-law's like that. Every time I see him, he has a new job with a new company. It's the only way to get a raise. But they poach him too, and it's like they throw benefits at him left and right. He'd be silly not to take them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't think companies appreciate loyalty the way they used to because there's so many people out there looking for work.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
population keeps growing.
Yeah, they're like, you want to leave.
We'll replace you with somebody cheaper.
With someone cheaper, yeah. So
it's competitive.
Yeah, it's really crummy.
Well, like in real estate, I will go on a listing appointment, and you see what my company does.
Yeah.
We do so much marketing. Nobody in the state of Connecticut does what we do for marketing, and it's how we sell homes so much quicker and for so much more money. So when we go on these listings, we charge a certain percentage for our commission. It's all commission based.
Right.
And the clients will come back saying, so-and-so is going to do it to me for a percentage cheaper. And we're like, well, you're also not going to get everything that we do.
Right.
And you're not going to sell it for as much money.
Yeah.
And you're going to be on the market for a lot longer. So it's hard because there are other agents who will come in and undercut us.
Yeah.
And we're competing against them. But at the end of the day, we also know
It's funny you mention that because I might be fighting an uphill battle, but I want to change that. Especially in my field. I had so I post a lot of stuff on my business account on Instagram, just like not really educational, but I'll explain something about how I designed something or how I did something. And a buddy of mine was like, dude, this is great, but like, don't put too much out there. Like, don't. And I'm like,
oh no, I can't.
So my first thing is like,
that.
I'd rather educate.
Yes.
I don't care. What do I care if another landscaper picks up what I'm doing and does it? And like, first of all, if he does, that's awesome.
Yes.
I'm flattered and like,
yes.
Please better yourself.
Absolutely.
And also it's gonna bring up the whole industry. If that guy stops charging what he's charging and putting his own self out of business and starts charging what he should be charging and providing the value for the customers that he should be, it benefits all of us.
It's all good, and there's enough business to go around. That's the way I look at it. Is you can't have this mentality of there's not enough. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine.
That's the famine mentality.
Yes, and it closes off everyone's world.
The
greediness, and you end up losing always. If you look at it as there's so much more business. It's a life of abundance.
Yeah.
You end up like opening yourself up to so many more opportunities.
For sure. Yeah. And I'd rather be a leader, I suppose.
Yes.
Than someone just, like, it's always funny when you ask a question to most of the time when I ask questions of, I was just at a quarry recently, buying granite direct from a guy, and I got to know him pretty well, but I'm always asking questions, and I think they see a genuine interest.
Yes.
And then people want to provide more information.
Right.
And,
because now they're like connected to you and they kind of feel like they're giving you value.
Yeah. And they're also kind of passing on the knowledge to the younger generation, the next generation. And I just, and I want to do the same, but for the people around me now, like why,
And the thing is, you're passionate about what you do, so you like to share it. And you
Which is why I wanted to have you
well.
on, because you're the same way with your field.
Yes.
And it's huge.
And it's like, I want to give everybody all the information. I don't want to hide the MLS and the stats and the numbers on my computer and keep like all the info to me. Like, I want everybody to know what I know, and then they can make their decisions.
Right.
Because if they decide to work with me and like people decide to work with you, it's really more personal. People want to work with people that they like.
Right.
So I feel like at the end of the day, you're probably going to choose me because you like me, not because I know more than, the next agent. Yeah.
And my walking into any, especially if it's someone I don't know and they didn't come as a referral, most of my work is referrals. But I feel like there's always this thing like, we're bringing this guy in, and they go into the meeting thinking, how's this guy going to try and get money?
Wheel and deal me.
Yeah. And so I try to get rid of that right away.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. Some people just have that mentality, but
some people have that wall up, and some are easier to break down than others. But some people, they'll just view you as a threat or whatever, or a salesman, and there's really no changing that. You just keep doing what you normally do with any other client. Yeah. And provide the same service and value.
Yeah, and I always tend to go above and beyond too. And I what I like to do is, because I'm always looking around, they might be asking me about one thing. Yep. And all right, well, we'll do that work. And I've been around so many guys. They're just like, all right, this is, and they'll give you a price right in there, like without even thinking about it. Yeah, that is a bad idea.
I know, that always scares me when that happens.
I never do that. First of all, it's not good for you because you're probably gonna miss something. Yep. And then you're gonna be screwed. And then
it's gonna change.
Oh, it's just a nightmare. Yep. And it's not very professional, I don't think. Certain jobs, I guess, lend themselves to that because there's really nothing to it. I get it. So a lot of tree guys do that. Right. The next guy's going to come in, he's going to give you the same price. Yeah. These tree guys, some of them, like, because I'm friends with them, they'll come in within like $10 of each other. I'm like, how the hell do you do that?
Really?
Yeah, but.
That's good. Some of them come in thousands, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are the guys that are on point. They know their job. But like for what I'm doing, I try to provide more value because I'll notice something nearby that my guys can easily do. It's just something, hey, listen, I just noticed that. We'll just, while we're here, we'll just take care of it.
Just take care of it.
Don't worry about it. And I won't figure in extra money. Right? That's not the point.
No, it's just doing the right job and the right thing.
And I'd rather have them long term.
Travels. Yep.
Right.
And they're going to refer you too.
Yes.
Because they're going to be like, oh my God, he's so great. He went above and beyond. He did this. We didn't even ask him to do it, but they were already out here.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other people, they come in, they drive their trucks on your yard, they ruin it, and then they won't even pick up your phone call the next day.
Well, even for you, like, why do you want to chase more work? You're going to get more work from your referrals and your friends and people buying their next house.
Yes. And that's why I like the social media and the marketing so much.
It's huge.
Because I put it out there, and it's not to the strangers. It's really to the people I already know who already like have an interaction and relationship with me, because it continues to bring my name to them. Like, they know me. And so they're going to refer me because they know Heidi's in real estate. Yeah.
Which just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now with college, did you feel that you didn't do well just because you didn't know what you wanted to do? Or was it more just...
There's so many factors. The first time around, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I think I was also just struggling with like just the fact of being like young and having freedom, and like that wasn't my focus. Like, so I have 2 kids, and like my oldest is just like me. She's a social butterfly. She goes to school to chit chat with everyone, be everybody's friend. Yeah. I'm like, you have to focus.
It is a good quality to have.
It is. It is. But, and I really just pieced this together in the past 2 years, because every conference I go to, they're like, Elsie's a great friend. Like, she's really good at socializing and making everybody feel accepted and wanted. However, she will not stop talking in class. And she doesn't understand the teacher needs to talk because we're there to learn. And I didn't grasp that. I didn't grasp that school was there for me to learn. I thought it was just something I had to go to. So I was focused on everything but school.
I could see that. Yeah.
So
I mean, I feel like they just set us up to I mean, I don't think any kid should be making a lifelong decision at 18 years old.
People just
where you end up in that much debt.
Well, that's the other thing is
it's insane.
My brothers all went to schools, like private schools. They knew what they wanted to do, but they took out. Sorry, brothers, shouting you out over here.
It's a mortgage payment.
They took out student loans, and granted, they're doing what they wanted to do, but I don't think they knew any better. They could have done it differently.
It's different now. I think people at one point were graduating from college and walking into. If it was a good field, they'll walk into $100,000 a year job or
sometimes,
but
sometimes it takes you a long time to get there.
Yeah, well, and it's different since basically 2008 too.
Yeah,
I saw what my wife walked into that job that she was getting paid for, what she got hired for. I mean, probably would have been worth $40,000 more a year 10 years earlier.
Oh,
yeah. And that's what's happening. And like you said, now people, if you leave, they're just going to find someone cheaper.
They always will. You can always be replaced.
Yeah. So I see, we have some friends that they have quite a bit of student debt, and they're still going back to school because their first degree really didn't get them what they should have been doing.
Yep.
It's like the money isn't there for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mike Rowe from, what was it, Dirty Jobs or something like that?
I don't know.
I follow him, and he has this whole thing about going into trades.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's a ton of open positions. Everybody needs help.
And nobody knows how to do them right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's going to be like that for a little bit. So paying people to do it, the prices are just going to rise.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah. What goes up must come down, right? So like that's where we're at now. So everyone's going to start going into trades again. And then they're going to be making a lot of money, and then it's going to go back down.
Mm-hmm.
It just, we're old because now we know that we just see the cycles go through.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I see that with my field. A lot of guys, they want good help. They complain that they don't have good help, and then they don't want to pay the rates that they should be paying for that good help and value them. That
has to be difficult on your end too, because especially as a business owner, you don't want to overpay everybody, but you still want to retain everybody.
Yeah, it's a challenge because there is a point of diminishing returns, right? Mm-hmm. Like, certain guys are only worth so much for what they do, but when you have guys that are very valuable, you take care of them, and that's it. It's also beyond the hourly rate. It's the other things you do.
I feel like if I owned my own business, that would be my biggest problem, is trying to find out who brought the most value and who should stay and who I'm still keeping on the team because I'm a nice person. I don't want to fire anybody, but
that's
who's
hard.
Really like,
but
probably should leave, and I could probably not pay them any longer and be just fine.
You usually know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's usually the guy that you're like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I've had to fire a few people, like when I worked at the bank, and I cried. While I'm firing them, afterwards, I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's not something I want to do. I don't want to be the boss.
It's hard. Yeah. That can't be easy.
No.
That's why I'm not a greedy person either. Like I'm not into growth for growth's sake, just to get bigger numbers or have more guys, or the first thing that guys talk about is how many guys they have or how many would they do this year.
Yep.
I did 1.5 million, or I did one. Okay, whatever.
So
would you actually make? And there's a whole nother story to it. Don't get caught up in that. That
doesn't matter at the end of the day.
None of that stuff matters.
The quality of the job. Yeah. Are you producing well?
Yeah. Are you happy?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Half these guys are, you're making money. Yeah. And you go home and you're miserable.
Yes.
So that doesn't matter either. So
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't miss that point. Like in life, I realized like the happiness matters more than the money, the cars, the house, the image.
I'm so tired of seeing people post about all the crap they're buying.
Oh, I know.
It's exhausting.
I'm like, I went to Walmart and got these shoes for $10.
It's exhausting. How are you supposed to keep up with like what car is like the thing to buy now? Or like, I love cars, but like I don't know. It's not. And if I do something, that's for me. That's not for you.
You don't want to flex.
I didn't buy this for you. I did it because I enjoy it or I love it or it brings value to my life. So I don't care if you know what I have or don't have.
I think like people figure that out once they get to their 30s. Some don't.
Yeah.
I feel like during your 20s, that's what it's all about.
Validation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's how you measure how well you are compared to everybody else.
That's true. I forget we're getting older and like,
Yeah, no, we're wiser. We're mature now.
Yeah.
So now that like, like slowly.
Yeah.
But obviously like your business is doing well. Mine's doing well.
Yeah.
The spring season's coming up. You guys are going to be super busy. Are you hiring on new guys to support that?
That's always a challenge because you don't know really what's going to happen, right? I mean, you don't know what's going to come in, what's not going to come in. I mean, I know what contracts I have, but at the same time, you don't. 2 years ago, I landed it was an install. It came from literally planting one tree, and this is why you should treat everyone
with the same.
Yeah, show up and do your job and work hard. It was literally I installed one tree for this couple, this family, and it snowballed into this huge project that lasted months.
Do you remember?
There was it started with a weeping beech, but it was I don't remember the cultivar name. Actually, it was very rare. It was from shout out to Broken Arrow Nursery.
Okay.
My friends.
Where are they?
They're in Hamden.
Okay.
Up on Gaylord Mountain Road. Oh. But they have like some rare plants. But it was an install, so I did that, and I noticed they were putting a pool in, right? And it was a pretty awesome pool. Crazy. They spent a little bit of money on it. Yeah, it was very cool. And I said, "Hey, who's you doing some landscaping around it? What are you guys doing? Just asking questions, whatever." I wasn't even thinking about it. And she was like, "No, actually, do you know any designers?" I was like, "Well, that's what I do. I mean, if I wouldn't mind drawing you a plan." I was like, "You don't have to use me. Whatever you want to do, I can just come up with some ideas."
You're like, "I'll just help you out."
Yeah. And like I was being genuine about it, and so I did a drawing for them, not thinking that it was a huge project, so not thinking I was going to get it, And I presented it, and they're like, "Perfect. When do you want to start?" And I was like, "Well, I got to give you a price first." So I was like, "Listen, let's
price this
I got
out.
a lot going on. I only got 5 guys, so like, could we take this in phases, whatever?" She's like, "Yeah, whatever you want to do. We like you. We don't want to hire anyone else. We trust you, whatever."
And that's when it starts. I love that.
Yeah, and it was one of the biggest jobs I've ever done, and they turned out to be really good friends. So we just had the baby, and they gave us all kinds of baby stuff from their kids that were growing. Yeah, they were just great people.
That's what this business is about. It's all like relationships.
I get
and people.
I get way more out of it. Out of that, than anything else.
You get way more satisfaction out of the relationships and the quality of it all than like the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you meet some pretty good people. The only thing is you're not going back to them all the time.
No, I am. So I'm like a stage 5 clinger. Like,
cool.
I will continue to stay in contact with my clients.
Oh, well, yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I'm always like, invite me over. I want to see the house, like after you move in, or, when people move out of state, I'm like always asking for updates. I friend everybody on Facebook and Instagram because I genuinely just like people.
That's fantastic.
So I discovered like that's my strong suit, and like being everybody's friend is my strong suit. So I I stick with that.
Yeah.
And it makes me happy.
Yeah, that's great. And it sets you apart too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. I mean, I'm not perfect by any means. Like,
no, but it's it's just part of what we do.
Yeah. It's like part of the service too.
Yeah.
It's like the
for
extra.
Sure. For sure.
It's the extra mile.
Yeah. The only reason why I was saying maybe you don't go back is 'cause, I mean, once we do the install, then it needs to be maintained, right? And like they have to, they always want to add something, so we're always going back.
Yeah. Consistently throughout the year.
Right.
Yeah. We don't, I don't do that.
I try to make it a point. It's funny you said you do that. I try to make it a point to reach out. So every couple of weeks, I'll just go through my phone and say, who haven't I talked to in a while? I'll just say, "Hey, hope you're doing well.
Hope you like the work that I did too."
Yeah. Do you need anything?
It's nice to check in, and then they know that like you genuinely care about the job.
Yeah.
And like your reputation with it.
Right. Yeah. And it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense financially, but for me, I'll actually just drive around, even if I don't have contracts with these people. I did one and done. We did the install, and that was it. They didn't want anything else. I'll still drive by, walk the property, check in. I'll send them a text. "Hey, I'm here. I noticed this," just so you know.
Does anybody ever get like creeped out?
No, they're always like, "Oh, great! While you're there, look at this." Or so the other day, there was a water garden we installed, and I went over, and the netting was in the pond. It fell off. They put up netting to like keep birds out or something because they got fish, and it was on the ground. I put it back and texted him. He's like, "Oh, thanks so much." It's like whatever.
Saved a life today.
Yeah, I'm not gonna walk by it and ignore it. You know what I mean? Like,
no, scoop them back in.
I think some people might, but yeah, it's just, and that goes a long way. I think.
Yeah.
I hope it does. I don't know.
Well, if anything, like you get joy from it. So
yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah, it's nice to know someone's kind of watching out for you a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, it's not bad. But as far as the real estate goes, I mean, it's primarily just residential that you're doing?
Yep, I stick to residential.
Is there a difference with commercial and residential?
Yeah, they're two different animals. And
do you have to be like specialized in one to some degree, or
I'm
like
embarrassed to say I don't even know the answer to that one.
No, I was just curious
because I know there's a commercial department. You might have to have your commercial license. I don't know. I know there's different access to the MLSs with that. But when I was at Prescuzo in Hamden, I tried to dabble into the commercial because a couple of people approached me and asked me to, and I would try to piece together things. I don't think I ever closed anything, but I'm more of like, I want to know it all anyways. So if someone asks me to do something, I will try my best to do it. If I can't, I will pass it off to somebody who's more qualified. Yeah. And I'm always upfront, like, listen, this is not my wheelhouse, but I will certainly try it for you. Because I've had clients who just say, I just want to work with you. Yeah. So I'll do my best. And I'm kind of dabbling in it right now, but nothing too crazy. But I do like working with investors. That's probably... I love helping people find like their dream home, but I love working with investors and finding like how real estate works financially for everybody.
I could see that.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite part of this job. So
that's good. You guys stick with what you enjoy.
Yeah, and that's like looking at like multifamilies like all over the state and going over like cap rates and cash flow and looking at a lot of properties and not selling anything. Yeah, but it's a learning experience. So for me, it's fun.
I used to work for guys that did commercial work and just didn't speak to me at all. No. It's just different. It's a totally different ballgame.
Well, there's no emotion to it.
No.
But I kind of, that's part of the real estate with the investors I like. It's like working on foreclosures with the bank. It's strictly business. It's just numbers. Yeah. But it's also making the numbers work for everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Those are the estimates I hate going on. The guys are just flipping a house and they're like, I know it's going to be like the lowest bidder.
I know.
Most of the time, I just want to be realistic with them. Like, listen, I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
So I try to be as honest as I can about stuff like that. And
yeah. Because they can do it themselves.
I'd rather have someone tell me, listen, I'm not interested.
Yep.
Then you're not wasting your time waiting to hear back from them.
Right. You're more of like the custom design work where like it's going to evoke emotion when people like walk into it.
Yeah. I couldn't send my guy somewhere and be like, listen, I'm only getting this much. Just bang it out and get out. Like I can't do that. Some people can. Yeah. I know some of those guys, but.
Which is fine. It is what it is.
It is, yeah. But there's a different quality to it. I can't do it.
It's not your thing.
No.
Yeah. So that's too bad.
If
I won't be referring you to my investors.
No, but my thing is like, if you're going to do something, do it right. And like, you take pride in what you do, right? I mean, like at the end of the day, I just wouldn't feel good going home being like, wow, that came out like
I think
shit.
Well, like some clients I have where, I will give them all of my tips on what to do to the home to get it ready for photos and for open houses. But everyone can only do what they can do.
And that's on them too. Some people are just like...
They can only do what they can do. Yeah. And I get that. And if I had unlimited amount of time, I would go and do it myself. But I can probably only dedicate an hour or two to each house before photos, which is plenty in my opinion. But
that's a lot.
It's a lot. And I don't charge for it, but I just want to make sure the photos can at least come out the best way they can.
Well, at the end of the day, you're responsible for trying to sell that house. So
yes.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll get the photos and I'm like, God, just...
Yeah, there's only so much Photoshop you can do, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. But with you, it's always there and it's forever there. It's just not photos online for 3 months.
No, your name's on it. Yeah.
Yes, like your signs out there. People see your truck there. They see your guys there. So like, just sticks with them a lot longer. Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. So I can understand why you would turn down some business.
Yeah, I don't want someone saying, oh, Nick did this. And it's like, it's all falling apart in a year. Yeah, it's a nightmare. But yeah. That's a little bit of my father and my family and me, but
not a bad quality.
No, it's great. It's great. It's just different. That's it. It's not what we do. But there was something I did want to talk to you about with the bio, because you have your family and your daughters.
I have my kids.
And you were talking about how you just wanted to be the best mom you could be, but like you also can't hold yourself to these unrealistic expectations because you're trying to balance everything. Yeah. And that's something I've been struggling with this last year was the balance of it all. So focused on the business and
well, things are changing for you, right? You have your business, but now you just had a daughter.
Yep.
So before it was just you and your wife. So you could probably manage a lot more of work.
Yeah.
And, she had her job too. And so when you guys came home, at least it was always your time together.
Right.
But now it's like there's more of a family aspect to it. It just adds another layer. And then also adds like another layer of who you are as a human being. Like you've got to make more room for different qualities.
Yeah.
And get ready for parenting.
Something
because
I struggle with.
She's a baby now, but like as she's like giving back more, talking, behaving, you all of a sudden are under a microscope that you put on yourself on how to be the best version of yourself, because they just mimic everything you do.
Oh, for sure.
And then you become more critical of yourself. So it's all good though. Like I'm a better person because of my kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
They constantly challenge me to grow and to do the right thing. But I wasn't prepared for that part with parenting.
No, it's got to be hard.
Yes, it's very hard. It's hard. Yeah, it's all hard.
How do you balance it with work, what you're doing?
Oh God. Well,
because I know so you've been doing the whole yoga thing. That was cool. You were telling me about.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to explain
No, I will.
that.
I will discuss that. So
I love that.
I'm like, I've always been, I don't know. I like to take care of myself, right? So I'm super selfish with my time at the gym. I have to work out 5 days a week in order to like feel like a normal human being. But I've just been doing too much. My business has been like thriving. My kids are getting busier. They're happier. Everyone's just expecting a lot more from me.
Yeah.
And I've just been like, just trying to keep my head above water. So I decided to just put away the gym for a little bit because they're like super intense workouts, and just be gentle on myself for January. I'm calling it Gentle January.
That's a good idea.
Some people like, what is it, Dry January? It's not Dry January for me.
No.
I will do Gentle January, where I'm doing 20 yoga classes in 30 days.
Yeah.
And there's no gym. There's no running. It's just like meditation for an hour in a heated room. So I still get like a good workout in. And I'm able to just be like I said, gentle on myself.
Right.
It's all stretching. And I'm committed to it though.
That's awesome.
If you don't take care of yourself, I can't take care of my family. I can't take care of my career. I'm not a good friend. I'm not a good daughter. I'm not a good sister. Like, I'm no good to anybody if I don't take care of Heidi first.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I can do right now because I'm super busy. So I can commit to 1 hour 5 times a week, and that's it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. That's this last year was a learning experience for me.
Juggling.
I spread myself way too thin, and I can't compartment. I always struggle with this word, compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize. Yeah, it's the
I don't know if
college.
there's
We
an
didn't
A-
go to
is there an A
college,
in
so
there?
we can't get that.
Yeah, is there an A? No, it's not.
I'm not the one to ask.
Yeah, well, I can't spell it, but whatever.
Yeah, it's there. We get it.
Yeah, but I can't do that. It's if something's on my mind, it's just there, and I won't sleep.
You can't tuck it away.
I won't sleep. I woke up this morning thinking about it's winter. I'm not even. What are we doing right now?
Yeah,
and it's just if something's on my mind, I have to kind of get after it. And woke up at 5 yesterday and went to the gym, and just because I was awake and
that's probably your therapy is the gym.
Yeah,
right?
and I'll wake up and like have anxiety and like I'll be sweating and like I'm like. About what?
Why?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
And
that's the worst.
Honing. And you gotta kind of learn how to hone in on what it is that's bothering you. And my buddy Chris, that I do the other podcast with, he's like, oh, you gotta meditate and just do all this stuff, and I can't sit still.
Another thing I do too, because meditation's hard, but there's certain things I have to do every week in order to be on like my A game, and one of them is like church. Yep. And like. I don't pray every day. I'm not like that super religious, but I go to church on Sundays to like reset my brain, because a lot of it is like what you put in, you don't push out.
Yep.
And some people like to read, some people like to listen to like soothing music, but if you gotta like feed yourself more good stuff, and then you'll kind of be able to like push that out there.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why the yoga helps too.
Yeah, I think. So I'm always going to the gym, and if I don't get in some kind of exhausting, I can't just go to the gym and lift easy or do some. I have to go to the point of exhaustion. Yeah. But then which is why I have
to pay for your sins.
Yeah. Keep the demons away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of the repetitive stress injuries, all that crap. Not good. But I leave there feeling like, oh, everything's right again.
Yes.
And it's a good feeling, but I got to find it some other way where I'm not abusing myself.
Yeah, that's what I was doing last year. It was
hard.
To the point where it was like, I think I'm punishing my body here.
Yeah, you're kind of killing yourself. Yeah, and I actually haven't. I don't even like saying it out loud, but because the drums are such a huge part of my life, they still are. But
how often do you do it?
That's the thing. I haven't played in over a year, and that is, if anybody knows me, piece. That is not me. Yeah. That was my life for the last 20 years of my life.
Well, once a musician, always a musician.
So but But like I said, I can't compartmentalize things. So when I bought the business, it was just like, okay, business, you gotta make sure your guys are getting paid every week. So you better be working your ass off. Like that was my focus. My guys,
right?
They got to make
Tunnel
their paycheck.
Vision. Yeah, you do. And you have to pay your guys.
Yeah, and then it just because of that, it just and then just growing the business and. Just becomes such a focus, and then
so you're in like that growing pains part of it all, where you're trying to figure it all out.
And I can't turn things off, so like I can't go home and just turn the business off and then be like, all right, well, I'm gonna play or I'm gonna go to this gig, or
you might have to though.
It's so hard.
My newest thing, if on Instagram, follow my boss Byron Lazine.
Okay,
he's like a huge motivational speaker, and his new thing this week, which is like exactly what I need to hear, is when you go home, be home, which is so hard when we work 24/7. But even if it's just for 2 hours, you take the phone, you put it away, and you say, okay, I'm just going to focus on like my wife, my kid, and dinner.
Yep.
And then in 2 hours, I'm going to pick my phone back up and stress out.
See,
But you got to give yourself permission to be off for a little bit.
That's going to take some practice too.
Start with 20 minutes first.
So it's funny because my wife yelled at me. She's like, we are not booking any more 3-day vacations because she goes, you don't turn off until we're leaving and coming home.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kinda, it takes me like a solid 3 days just to even, we'll be at dinner and she's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, nothing. I just, this person texted me and I'm getting all stressed out.
So do you follow Gary Vee as well?
I do.
Okay.
He's,
So he's great. But he also taught me that like you have to, what is it? What's the word? Re-engineer your schedule, right?
Oh, yeah.
So reverse engineer.
Yeah.
So plan out your 7 weeks of vacation through the year.
Yeah.
And those are the weeks that you're not working.
Yeah.
And then when you're at work, you're always working.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not really good at it, but I'm getting better with trying to like book my time with my kids.
Everything's practice. You got to get,
Yeah, it's all new. And even if you make the intention, it's at least better than completely ignoring a break.
Yeah.
And just keep pushing through and then burning yourself out and then being of no use to anybody.
Yeah.
And you'll figure it, like as your daughter gets older too, you're going to be forced to take more time off.
I'm even starting to see it now. Like I said, I only see her for like an hour at night.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, I'm putting her to bed. I'm like, really already? She's like, it's 8:00. Yeah.
Like she needs to go to bed now.
Shit.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. But it's,
It's all trial and error. That's the other thing too, is like I give myself permission to fuck up and make mistakes. It's all trial and error. Yeah. Like we're human. It's all good. At the end of the day, my kids still love me. I could be the worst mom on some days and they still just look at me with like awe. So
because you're not really being the worst. I mean, there's some pretty...
Sometimes they call me the worst mom in the world.
There's some pretty horrendous moms out there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You're not one of them. But
they're mad because I take the iPad away. Yeah, and I don't give them cookies for breakfast. It's fine.
That's life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't pay your car bill, you're going to lose your car, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's true. I'm like, eat that cookie, and then you're going to go to the dentist and get a cavity. Yeah. And then guess who's going to get the needle in their mouth?
Yep.
Not me.
Not fun. Yeah, that's not easy.
No. Parenting's fun.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, you kind of inspired me with the yoga thing because I probably should do some of that.
Yeah. Find, a good studio around here is Balance. The district.
Yeah.
So she does classes at the district, but also on Whaley Avenue, Balance Yoga. They're phenomenal there. Yep. Cool. It's heated. So because you like high intensity workouts, start with like their basic levels because you don't want to like kill yourself, but they heat the room to like 92, 95 degrees. Okay. And you just sweat. Oh, yeah. But it
doesn't take 90 degrees for that to happen.
Yeah, with guys, it's hilarious. I see them like slipping and sliding all over their mats. Yeah. But you get a towel, and you still, when you walk out, you still have that like endorphin high like you do when you leave the gym. Yeah. And then, because we're getting older, like overall, you're just like, that feels amazing. Like you just got a massage. Yeah. But you worked out.
Definitely need that.
And then your head is so much clearer and you have so much more energy.
Yeah, that's
like
huge.
When we were sitting here before, I'm looking on my phone just trying to schedule my yoga classes because I know I'm going to feel so much better when I leave and like ready for the day.
Yeah, it's huge. It's easy to push that stuff off. You know?
It's priority.
So,
definitely.
That's easy to push off, and I find myself doing it some days. Like today, I didn't go. I got up and I was more focused on getting to the job that we were doing today, and
well, because you're still an adult. Sometimes like responsibilities you can't move them.
Nope.
It is what it is.
You're doing I'm doing 2 podcasts tonight. This one of them, I'm going down to New Haven to do another one, and
I don't know how you do it. I would take a nap.
I don't know. But that's the thing. If I'm not doing this, I'll be at home. I'll go home and I'll be like,
stressing.
I'm not doing enough.
Yep.
Yeah. And my wife's, are you out of your mind?
I get it. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, it's really hard. And I don't know where that comes from.
But go with it. It's your strength. It is who you are. But at the same time, like I said, balance out with a couple of vacations.
I have some really good clients, particularly one. I don't know if he wants his name on here, but Dave. I'll just say Dave.
Call him Dave.
But anyway, he's become a very good friend of mine, and I attribute most of what is going on in my life right now to him, because he kind of talked me into buying the business and how to do it. And it's a phenomenal friend. Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, he'll call me and he'll just be like, "Hey, I was thinking about you." And one particular weekend, he said, "Hey, I was thinking about you." I said, "Oh yeah, what's up?" He said, you got to figure out how much you really need. Like, what do you really need to make at the end of the day for your lifestyle? What kind of lifestyle do you want?
Oh my God, I love Dave. Who does he follow?
He's amazing. Yeah, he's just a good guy. Mm-hmm. And but it's because he's been through this, right? Mm-hmm. So he said, my family, before it was just work, and then how much is enough? Mm-hmm. And then, now he had 4 kids.
Yep.
Right? And it's like, you want to spend time with your kids, right? You want to go away. But he was saying for your business, set yourself up. Think about what you want out of life, and then set your business up for that. He's like, you're worried about retirement, right? I was like, well, yeah, I didn't even start. So yeah, I probably should. I'm 32.
Yes.
And
invest in real estate.
He says, but you know what you do? Right. And that's one of the plans. And we ended up talking about that too. But he was like, but for someone like you who has the business that you do, where you're doing your passion, you're not just running a business to make money. Mm-hmm. You're designing, you're landscaping, you're doing stuff you love.
Yes.
You could probably run that until the day you die if you wanted, if you have it set up correctly and you have the right people in place.
Yes.
And he goes, and that's your retirement. You don't retire. You just do what you love.
Right.
And I was like, that sounds like me.
Yes.
Because I don't know how people just retire and move on and don't. You got to have a plan.
Well, they set it up, but they set it up now.
Yeah.
Or in their 20s.
Yeah, but like money.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you have to tuck away the money.
And then do what?
But also invest it.
And do what? That's what I'm saying. You got to do something.
Oh.
So like, it's kind of nice if you're still making money doing what you love.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
But do you really want to be the guy like 70 on the job, micromanaging everybody?
No, I don't have to. I don't, maybe, but
possibly.
Right. But like, I also still love that. And I know a lot of guys in this business that are older and still do it. And they act like they want to get out, but they don't, because they like what they do. They don't want to admit it to themselves. They're like that old school mentality, like, oh God, I hate this. But they love it.
I know.
They'd be lost if they didn't have it.
Yep.
So I think that's huge. It really opened my eyes. I started thinking about it, but to have money put away and investments, that's great. It takes the pressure off.
You have to have other ways to have passive income for that stage in your life.
Correct.
Because you can't put all of your eggs in one basket.
No, it's a balance of both.
Yes.
Right.
But in the meantime, you're also building your business now for that succession plan.
Right.
So you have to prepare for that.
Yeah.
Which is smart.
Yeah. Now, are you doing any planning like that?
Yes.
Like real estate and stuff like that? I mean, you're in it, so you can kind of...
I'm in it. It's like... That's kind of my wheelhouse, and I'm in the process of starting it all. I
think we all feel this pressure, like we have to do it now.
Yes.
But like you said, Gary Vee, like he's like, you're so freaking young. And that's...
But you don't want to take that for granted either.
No.
You want to excuse that away.
No, not as an excuse, but sometimes you put this unnecessary pressure where you just feel like you need to do it now.
Right. And
you can kind of get yourself into a little bit of...
This past year, I've been saving my pennies for an investment property, because that's really what I wanted to do, is buy multifamilies. Right.
Cool.
And just build that as my retirement plan. And I kind of had this need to do it now. And then just in the past 2 months did I realize this year's not the year. Well, 2019 was not the year.
Yep.
This year or next year might be the year.
Yeah.
But I'm still absorbing all that knowledge from my investor clients so that I can turn around and do it myself. Because when I do it, it's just me, and I want to make sure I do it right. Yeah. I've never been a landlord before.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. Yeah. Are you looking for a rental?
Rentals, yeah. I would buy, hold, and let that be my retirement plan.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer in walking before you run.
Yeah, there's different schools of thought on that too. How people do it.
Yes. Yeah. No. We don't have time to go into all of that. But but real estate, it's a great way to invest your money if you know what you're doing, though. And that's why I like to just I'm doing all my research now.
Yeah.
Because when I do it, I don't want to.
And you're still going to learn from experience.
Oh, yeah.
Once you start doing it, oh, shit, I should have did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the goal is just keep doing it repeatedly, right?
Yep.
But on my time, on my pace.
Yeah, for sure.
While still like, being a mom and a friend and a daughter and sister and realtor.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's all good stuff. It's very exciting. I get excited talking about it.
Yeah. Is that kind of what you're just going to keep, you just doing what you're doing now? Or do you kind of have like a next stage that you're going to kick it into?
I feel like right now in my life, this is all I can do. Like I'm thinking about the future, but really I'm just focusing on
just building your brand and who you are.
Building my brand, but also I have 2 young kids in the community. Like it's really just building a life for them right now, but also planning for the future.
It's good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I love what I do. So I just keep doing what I'm doing and the business comes and I'm happy with what I have.
Yeah.
I'm not greedy about it. I only take on what I can.
Yeah, that's the way to be.
Yeah.
Don't overextend yourself. It ain't worth it.
And every opportunity presents another opportunity.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I welcome it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I like what you're doing right now before we kind of get out of here. The splash pad
right.
in Guilford.
The Splash Pad Initiative. That's
right.
That
was really cool.
And that's what I love. I love, like, I think I told you this.
It's your community. It's like, you're giving back to your area.
And there was a time in my life where I thought I wanted to be a social worker. I like to help people. I like to help the community. And so, if you know of anybody who wants to buy or sell a home in Guilford, Connecticut, I am donating 10% of all my commissions to the Splash Pad Initiative.
Yeah.
They have to raise $150,000 by the end of February, which is a really big goal.
That's a big nut.
They've already I think they've only raised like 10 grand so far.
Yeah.
So they need a lot of support. You can follow me on Instagram at Heidi DeRusso Realtor, or you can follow me on Facebook at Heidi DeRusso, or you can email me at heidi@oneandcompany.com, and that's one spelt out. If you need to contact me for any real estate needs.
Did you give your Instagram and all that?
I gave the Instagram. You weren't listening. Cool. But also cell phone.
The email and all that.
I know there's a lot of ways to contact Heidi. Cell phone is 203-444-4075.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's like a deli.
And this is the Splash Pad in
Guilford.
Jacobs Beach?
Yes, Jacobs Beach. And you can buy the seasonal pass for the beaches in Guilford, and then you can access it that way.
Oh, that's sweet.
And it's an all-inclusive splash pad, so it's for all ages. Yeah. It's for everyone. It's
a nice area too. It's family friendly, and
it's such a good community. Everyone's so warm and inviting, and it's a good spot.
We did the landscape down there, and then you said you were doing that. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Perfect, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's all good.
Yeah. So look that up and donate if you can.
Yeah, when we post this too, maybe we could put like the donate link on there.
Yeah, that'd be
I'll
great.
Send it to you.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, because if you don't want to buy and sell a home, that's great. But if you want to donate $5 or $100, that'd be amazing as well.
Anything helps.
Anything. Yep. Yeah, and they need it in I think 6 weeks. So.
Oh, geez.
We need to do a big push.
People, donate.
Yeah, please, thank you. It's for the children. Okay, it's all for the children. And for the moms, you'll appreciate it.
I know.
Like when they're running around and it's hot, you just
keep them busy.
Keep them busy. Mm-hmm. Run them ragged so they'll go to bed for you at night.
Cool.
Yes. Well, thanks for having me here. I know,
it's been awesome.
This was great.
I feel like we could talk all night.
We could. Yeah. And this was the first time we met.
I know.
This is hilarious.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
That worked out great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So follow Heidi DeRusso.
Or Nick.
Yeah. And
you gotta shout out yourself.
Yeah. You can follow me at Nick Zaccarelli on Instagram and Facebook. I think this is at Indomitable Nick for Instagram.
That's long.
Yeah, at Indomitable Nick. Yeah, if you could spell it.
Indomitable.
I'm not about to do that right now.
It flows off the tongue easily, though.
Yeah, and this was episode 1, and we will see you soon. Thanks a lot for listening.
Bye.